you. Further debate. Further debate.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm pleased to participate in this debate on a motion by my colleague from Etobicoke Lakeshore, and I just want to refocus our attention to the motion itself, and that is that the Legislative Assembly calls on the government to recognize that world-class cities build subways.
Absolutely.
Not partial subways, subways. And that was a commitment that this government had made during the course of the past by-election. Now the member elected by the people in Scarborough, who heard the commitment for subways, is standing in her place, and it hasn't taken her very long to become very political about this issue and to side with her government to try and convince her own constituents to settle for less than was promised. That's a typical Liberal approach to government.
When you have principles, it's easy to change them.
We're here to say, and Speaker, you know, we were hosted by the Lieutenant Governor, and it was an opportunity for us to get together as some MPPs. The Premier was there, as were members from all parties. The topic of the discussion, although we were sworn to secrecy, but the topic of the discussion was how do we raise the level of debate in this place so that we could actually get some work done. And it's interesting, as I hear the debate here today, there's a reason why people are cynical about what goes on in this place. You know, it's interesting, the member from Danforth stood in his place and read a very eloquent speech. And time again, the member from Danforth urged us not to play politics with transit. And yet every other word that he said was it's only the NDP that can bring transit. And every other word between that was how bad the Liberals are and how bad the Conservatives are. And so this nonpartisan speech that we had from the member of Danforth had nothing in it but politics. And then we hear from the newly elected member, welcome to the chamber. Glad to have you here. Former leader in the Civic Action Coalition. And we now hear from this newly minted member rhetoric that is so partisan that I cannot believe that they actually were written by the member herself. I would urge you to do this. Tell the speech writers to cut it out. You can write your own speeches. And when
Member from Davenport. Okay, so I just want to correct the record. The member from Danforth is not here. I'm the member from Davenport, and it was me who said that the Tories and Liberals have a terrible record when it comes to transit. Thank you.
Continue.
I would just urge the newly minted Liberal member to write her own speeches, speak from the heart, and that is what in fact will make things happen here. Now, here's what we want to achieve with this motion. We simply would like the government to once, just once, keep a promise. And the promise that was made before the by-election and through the by-election was that they would build a subway in Scarborough and that they would do it in cooperation with the City of Toronto and the TTC. That was the commitment. And now that the election is by, what happens within a matter of days? The Minister of Transportation calls a press conference and pronounces his own plan. You know, I just heard the members say that their plan is supported by the chair of the TTC, the chair of Metrolinx. Well, the chair of Metrolinx has obviously been brought into the minister's office and told to get in line, because Metrolinx's initial response was that they too were surprised by the announcement that was made. Absolutely they were. That is exactly the case. And you see, Speaker, this is why we have problems here, because Metrolinx itself has now become a creature of the Ministry of Transportation rather than to be the body of planning that it should be, which is why we have
Mr. Speaker, I'd like you to rule. I put on the record several times that Metrolinx actually briefed the city long before I made the announcement. I don't think the member intentionally means to mislead the House by stating things he knows not to be true, Mr. Speaker.
Excuse me. The member from Renfrew might want to get in his seat. And secondly, thank you for your point, and it's well taken. However, if you have a problem, you know the rules. You can call for a late show if someone causes you a problem. Well, there you go. That's not a point of order. Continue.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, that is not a point of order. The minister knows full well that even Metrolinx was surprised by his announcement, and that the chair of the TTC is absolutely opposed to his imposed plan. I would like to remind the Premier, I would like to remind the Minister of a statement made by the Premier to the Association of Municipalities of Ontario just a few weeks ago. Here are her words to municipalities, and I assume that included the City of Toronto. I quote, "Decisions based on evidence, community input, and collaboration are the best decisions." The Premier went on to say that today I will talk most about collaboration because it is a challenge, but evidence and community input inform my decision-making. I have maintained my focus on finding collaborative solutions. Well, Speaker, if that's the case, then why does this government, why does this Minister of Transportation insist on imposing a subway solution on the City of Toronto, on the TTC, that they absolutely oppose? Where is the collaboration that the Premier has promised the people of this province and the municipalities of this province? We're here to say, yes, we need transit investment. Yes, we need a subway, but we need a subway that is committed to doing it right, as the member from Lakeshore, Etobicoke Lakeshore said. The last thing we need is to build more transit that creates more gridlock. And if we're not going subways, that's exactly what we're going to do, is spend billions of dollars to increase the gridlock. Speaker, we have to do it right. That's why we're bringing this proposal forward. Thank you.
Further debate?